Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me. And that was a wonderful dance. Initially, I actually thought I've got a good hip movement, but I haven't seen that tonight. I think I have to practice more. If you're looking for a student, my hand is up. I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodian of the land that we all gathered tonight, the Wurenji people of the Kulin Nation, and I pay my respects to their culture, their elders, past, present, and emerging. As she mentioned earlier on, my name is Abiola, and people often call me Abi, because when I first arrived in Australia, people find it very difficult to pronounce these 5 letters, Abiola. They call me Ebola. So I said, just call it Abi. Even before the Ebola virus, I said, just leave it as Abi. That will be fine. But Abiola is welcome. That's my traditional name. And I'm a community leader, as she earlier said, an advocate, an educator, a clinical nurse consultant, an entrepreneur, and among all, a Victoria Multicultural Commissioner with the VMC. And in all those titles that I've mentioned, there's nothing that outseeds telling you that I'm a proud African. And I tell that with full pride. I'm not saying I'm from West Africa or North Africa. I am a proud African woman. And as she said, she mentioned earlier on, I'm actually equally blessed, so don't look behind. I'd like to acknowledge that we are joined today by Peter Kucha, Director of Partnership Engagement and Collaboration, Limbrago, Director of Advocacy and Campaign, Wendy Fair, Coordinator Counseling and Telehealth Services, Sydney Freedom, Therapist, the CEO of Center for Migrants and Refugee Health, Mapo Chado. Mapo, thank you so much. And I would also like to acknowledge Sister Rebecca Mufaba, who's been doing a great work in the community, and Sister Monica as well. If I've omitted your name, I'm sorry. And it's just because I've not had that list of names. So I actually acknowledge every single one of you tonight. So thank you for having me. I'm honestly honored that you have welcomed me to this the Center for Migrants and Refugee Health ceremony for the Social Justice Award. It's a matter that is close to my heart and to my life. I came to Australia 20 years ago, and wandering in this land, the first thing I asked myself was, what am I doing here? Because I came with hope, aspiration, and only for me to get in here the first 1 year without all the so-called social barriers. In Nigeria, where I come from, English is a lingua franca, so that was not my problem. Education, that wasn't my problem, because I was educated before I arrived here. Experience in job, that wasn't my problem, but I got here and I couldn't get a job. I couldn't even get a job as a cleaner. And Martin Luther King once said, an injustice anywhere is a threat to injustice everywhere. I believe every one of us deserve the equal opportunity to the right access to health, to education, to participation, and to support for our general well-being. At many places around the country right now, people are celebrating diversity. We're a great state made of over 300 ancestries, 260 languages, and different faiths. But everywhere, as we celebrate, there's a question in my heart. And the question is, are all these communities treated equally? Do all Victorians experience the same amount of justice, equity, and access in together with participation? Realistically, I'll say no. And we need to acknowledge that. But on the other side, I would like to acknowledge the amazing work that each and every one of you have been here doing, giving us a voice. We were here because some people stood up decades ago and they stood up against injustice. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the nominees of Social Justice Award, both individual businesses, for their amazing work. You're the reason that we're here, you're the reason that I'm standing, and you're the reason that the African Australian community will keep on going forward. Thank you so much for every work that you've done. All of your work move Victoria towards the goals of equity, harmonious society. At the Victoria Multicultural Commission, we work as a conduit between the community and the government. We advocate across all levels of government in support of the needs of the cultural and linguistic communities. And I would also like to say that as we stand here tonight, we take our role as a statutory body seriously, and we speak truth to the power when necessary. Being able to speak and speak out for the truth that you believe is highly necessary in this fight that we are fighting for. We do this to support and celebrate this beauty and uniqueness of our state. In the time, we've witnessed a lot of growth, changes, challenges, success in our state and multicultural communities. I would like to highlight the shared values and aspirations between the VMC and the Center for Migrant and Refugee Community Health. We all know that every Victorian have the right to the highest standard of physical, emotional, and mental well-being. We have the right to live and work in a safe, healthy environment. We have the right to education, the right to freedom of thought, and the right to freedom of expression. We have the right to take part in public services and to have access to public services. We know that these pillars of social justice are particularly important for the communities and for many people that experience vulnerability. And they will all link to very real, tangible outcomes of our health. No one single, no organization, no person should be left behind in this fight. I've often said, when people said to me, I'm tired of advocating, I'm tired of talking, I'm tired of discussing it over and over again, you cannot be tired. Because the privilege of standing in here, of sitting among each other, of being able to enter the same bus, being in the same school as of today, is because some people fought before us and they were never tired. And those privileges we are entitled to today. So for the future of everyone that comes into this country, you can never be tired. For our children, you can never be tired. I often said that coming to Australia or coming to any country, migrating and leaving all your country behind and looking for a greener pasture, for any reason that's known to you, it's not a sin. But it's a sin for people not to accommodate you when they can accommodate, when they have the resources to support you. It's a social sin. Empowering communities to advocate for themselves is the foundation of social justice. It is an honor to be here among some of the most hardworking social justice advocates. I'm not going to be beginning to mention him here. He's there, Sister Rebecca, Macro, every one of you. The work that you do as leaders, workers, and allies across public and community service to address inequalities in health, in education, community development, housing, employment, food security, and discrimination is noticed, but not just by us, by other people you have impacted everywhere. In the face of inequalities, it's up to us all to stand up to injustice, to work, to do an aspiration, to not just be me for everyone, but for everyone here tonight. The work we do is not easy, but it's important. It's worth it. And I just want to thank you all for having me here tonight. Keep up the good work, and thank you. Congratulations to everybody that's worked so hard to put this event together. Thank you.